being a battle rapper is just trying to figure out how to make someone feel like shit about themselves in the best way possible. Just really cut someone down to size and show them what they're all about.
Seen this alopecia, spot a beater at the Galleria B. What you wanna be for Halloween, a ballerina? Rappers who ain't pay dues, I play you for chumps. I'm out for Verde, no spare change for you. You're fair game to toss down the staircase. The truth is I air raid the booth. My bear mace your group, so for their sake just stare straight and fair me la bouche. I got people supporting me, cause I speak with authority. He speaks with authorities. Okay. I should be under quarantine. How you beef with a war machine that came to turn Montreal into the beaches at Normandy. Okay. Yo, this piss warm chump ain't worth the effort. Rap's not in your blood, we can't work together. It's a shitstorm, son. You get torn up. This poor fuck sniffs more drugs than German shepherds. You know this. Every 6'2" Ginsu, I'm focused. I roll with a thick crew to rip through opponents. Yo, 6'2", he's got a demo to give you. It's dope just to skip through or tape over to mix tunes for road trips. If he's stuck, I'm a super villain with my arms cocked, spraying at your ride like a car wash. So till my heart stops, send the dorks, geeks, and the hard rocks, cause I put an end to more dreams than alarm clocks.
Okay. $200 battle, each of the men put up $100 each. Yo, the winner is Bender. Flight distance.
Make some noise. Decade deep in this rap shit, still Harless. Will be my face on the Wheaties box, his ugly mug on a milk carton. Got lines perfected, dumb shit, my style's the freshest. So try to sun me, I treat you like Eric and Lau Menendez. Get iced and deaded like cryogenics. Outshine my presence, you have a better shot at George Bush's signed confession than 9/11. Scot-free, you make John Cena sound like Sean P. Backup dancer like Pac was for Shang-Chi. Bring me a hard rock, got me a stepping stone. A candy raving grease pencil with cold sweats off a methadone. A sex degenerate that can't support his family how he should. Scott's no mechanic, but he's been known to pull a tranny out the hood. See, this kid Skelly's introverted, so he gets discouraged. Till he sips that liquid courage and turns to a different person. So he kicks his verses while the liquor's working, cause that nervous little bitch that he really is itching just an inch beneath the surface. As we all know, you never sold a bag of weed, sucker. If you put an O on the corner, you're printing Oprah magazine covers. You sound basic and outdated, I'm groundbreaking, have you downgraded from crowd favorite to clown faggot, pounce on him. And I'm here trying to figure if the judges might consider this guy a winner. Would that be like a 5%er inviting a white supremacist like Michael Richards plus his wife for dinner? An unlikely picture. You're playing yourself, that's why you're taking an L. Call time, Skelly Kapowski just got saved by the bell. You say I'm like Belly? I should take your girl straight to the telly. Turn her into Krang from the Ninja Turtles and put some brain in her belly. But I won't do that, because what's between her legs is unhealthy. It looks like a half pound of smoked meat that got shaved at a deli. She can save it for Skelly. Come on, we're not retarded. You get caught with arms and the cop department drops the charges, you probably narc and call the sergeant to cop a pardon, so in Scarborough you're a walking target. Let them chop your carcass up, cardboard box your body parts, get dropped in Markham, but behind the Olive Garden or the Boston Market, now look what you gone and started. And back home your family's probably starving. 8 or 9 brothers and sisters crammed in your mom's apartment. Oh, you got firepower like Eisenhower. You're sponsored by Lockheed Martin. I'll gorilla pimp slap the hood out you, leave you face down on the carpet. I'll pull your car like Johnny Carson doing that mind reader skit. But like you clap techs and Mac 10s, fuck off. I'll have blood running down your temple like an Aztec sun god. And your girl ruined every Montreal battle. What the fuck, son? If you don't have the decency or the balls to tell her to shut the fuck up, then you're meat for the grinder. Plus, I wouldn't stick my penis inside her. Will you eat that vagina that smells like Queen and Spadina? And I'm in this piece today because I got history to make and infamy to gain. Bringing down the buildings in my DNA like Timothy McVeigh, I'm clinically insane.
Judges, they've come to a decision and they chose Bender.
Cause just imagine this Hispanic Rick Moranis gripping ratchets. You get your ass kicked trying to buy a gun. Try it, son. You'll have doctors taking shots out of you like liquor cabinets in the Hamptons. So fuck a firearm, I'll let one bar smash him cause my gang catch wreck like a junkyard magnet. And he said he's rolling with a bunch of dimes. But when this bum arrived at the club and I looked inside his ride, he was the only 1 in 5 who didn't look like Buster Rhymes. And if this chump denies these fucking guys from behind, it's just a lie. He leads a double life and plays the other side like a Russian spy. And we seen him at the club one night with a bunch of guys with bugged out eyes doing the shuck and jive, the dirty wine, the butterfly, and the bump and grind, all the double time. And if that slope was mine, I'd have her rub a couple pints of fungicide up inside those jumbo-sized Kentucky Fried Thunder thighs. He gonna need doctors with his left eye jumping like a TLC concert.
Unanimous decision is going to Bender.
Yeah! Now when your mommy called Bender over to bend her over, don't worry, I wasn't drunk enough to hit that shit. Hell, I'm never sober. You're from a town of 2,000 people. You couldn't get more country. My lyrics are frightening and confusing to them, like indoor plumbing. My brainstorm a massive category 8. Lightning crash, rain drenched the land for 40 days. When I bang out a 16, the laboratory shakes. When he bangs out a 16, that's statutory rape. Is this the match you wanted, right? Another punch like that, they gonna have to stop the fight. So I ain't come here for horseplay, but I might just bludgeon this cornflake, apply his blood like it's war paint, and snipe the judge at my court date. You should hide behind a mask or go and find a plastic surgeon. I polish my bars till the final draft is perfect, so I ain't fucking with you youngins like the Irish Catholic churches. Catch a spinal fracture, keep your chiropractor working, light a match and burn him, watch the fire hazard worsen. So I'ma throw him back in Schitt's Creek. This deep, 6 feet, fish feed, mincemeat, blitzkrieg, history, you get me? I'm the sole reason your honey's so tired. She went up and down the shaft taking loads like a Nova Scotian coal miner. And I'm amazed at the fact that some MCs still respect you when you had your head shaved like a maze on the back of a Denny's children's menu. Even your Marduke's got a slick fade like Sling Blade, and I swear on the King James Bible she's a spitting image of Ving Rhames. I'm Noriega crossed with Schwarzenegger, the orphan maker, orchestrate your fate in the torture chamber. A force of nature, firestorm and warn the forest ranger. You're a flamer. If we dropped you off at a gay bar, you'd probably catch a rape charge like Lawrence Taylor. Face it, a real city would have this kid for dinner. He thought that Jane Strip was a brand of chicken fingers. Seen him with an Onyx t-shirt and a New York adjustable. But when I asked if he liked sticky fingers, things just got really uncomfortable.
The winner is Bender.
But down at 24 in minutes, called the Betty Ford Clinic. Jack Bauer in the last hour. 24 is finished. It's too easy. I said bring me a heavyweight. We'll make this a real classic like Illmatic. Instead they stuck me with Lil Farnham's, Lil Cousin, Lil Faggot. I said put your Benjamins up. You wouldn't bet a fucking Abe Lincoln. And all that tough talk's a joke to me. This sucker ain't swinging. Now we want to test my pen game? What's this lame thinking? This heat will shut your bars down like underage drinking. Woo! And I don't need a higher education to provide an explanation as to why you'll never make it through these trials and tribulations. And I ain't trying to mention names, but every time you rep your state, they're always finding several ways to draw a line of separation. And why'd you fly here anyways? To fight a lion in his cage? You'll take your dying breath and change this to a crime investigation. And you could try to test your fate and make a climb for heaven's gate, but you will find this devil waiting at your final destination. Wow! Now when I heard your mama gave a top-notch lap dance, I was willing to look past that raw dog tramp stamp of a hot rod Trans Am. But when I saw the broads got man hands like Jean-Claude Van Damme and a face like Crondon, I took a walk on that plan. I'll hit you with a bitch slap. Twice as hard as any firearm's impact. Shit'll make you twist back farther than your spine can arch. Tiger shark, looking for a quick snack you could buy the farm. Feel your ribs crack from these iron bars. Got rhymes to spark a 5-alarm fire like a tire yard. By and large, these barbed wire lines will rip this guy apart. I'm in charge. Try and start shit, I'll smash a bottle and run the glass down your fucking neck like a slide guitar. I offered your honey a lift to the rental. I guess that Ford Taurus mesmerized her. She was blowing before the car started like a court order breathalyzer. I just told her, yo, if you're not spreading your thighs, I'm getting brains in the back seat, like when John Kennedy died. Anything you ever wrote is soft. My verses are escape tunnels. When I break out the pen, alarms start going off. Beginner's luck done, now your buzz gone. You like a surgeon's hands, washed up before you even put the gloves on. Wow. Deep in the heart of it, for Cam, spitting bars is just a party trick. This art is just a narcissistic tool, easily marketed. You go 3 years back, he wasn't even a part of it. Cutting holes for his thumbs in the sleeves of his cardigans. You can't fuck with Bender. No one does it better. When I bust, it's on another level like a double-decker. Go write a country western song, you fucking Chester. I'm Uncle Fester with an ugly temper, watch your tongue get severed. I put money under pressure like sunken treasure. They wouldn't cut your record if you were tried as a young offender. Yo, drum selector, put the funeral march on. Y'all come together. I just put the kill shot on cam like a snuff director. Cut. They call me Bender for a reason. So it ain't shit for me to pound a lukewarm 2-4 down with brute force and still have room for a few more rounds. Let's get it.
The winner of the battle, Bender.
Say hello to the alright. Look, I never claimed that I was more than just a small-time crook for pocket change, but I ain't really trying to play with these boys. He talk a good one in the booth, but got no pain in their voice, for real. And anyone that don't feel it can suck my titty. Government city, all-star, son, I'm so none forget me. Sullen and sluggish, enough of us suffered a troubled history, but muster some love to crumble. A brother come bun it with me now.
Really shit you ever got yourself into, boy, trust me.
FlightDistance.net.
The dudes I faced was top tier.
Coming to get that chain.
You better not fuck up your lines.
Time's up, Candy King.
Let's get it.
Take lessons. This is the kind of performance that makes legends. So consider this a great blessing. You'll have your name mentioned in the same sentence. This man is corny, tasteless, average, boring, basic, bland and formulaic, vastly short of greatness. Stand before me shaking, shake the hand of your replacement. Think you can't ignore this blatant fact? Sadly, you're mistaken. I can't even keep track of all the lies you fabricated. For a one-dimensional rapper, that's one wild imagination. That's why no artist respects him. I'm Mozart resurrected. Sonar to detect him. Tell Mr. hop in a go-kart and go start up the engine or end up in the OR picking bone shards at your tendons. Cold-hearted, I think like a loan shark that's collected. You had no bars for the most part, and so far it's pathetic. See, I can appreciate when a rapper like you goes hard in a session, but 9 times out of 10, that's just a host star for attention like postpartum depression. I think it might be a bad year for some of you divas. Y'all said this IKEA cashier to fuck with the meanest. See me cut him, deconstruct them into hundreds of pieces, and put them in a box, complete with the instructions in Swedish. Brought swords and sabers, waging war's my nature. Gannick just threw a fish to a killer like an orchid trainer. If I'm short on paper, swarm on candy's just a source of pay dirt. You're a raver. You beating me's, but as likely as Spike Lee getting that mule in 40 acres. We could go another round. I'll give you extra time like poor behavior. The organ taker, coordinate your fate when I storm the gates you can't afford to wager. I'll lock jaws with a Florida gator. Who the fuck is you? Your whole crew funny style like George and Kramer. See, I'm a cannibal rapper. Northern Vort Omega, of course, I'm greater than this corny flake. Got punchlines forming craters. You're in mortal danger. Bow down, pray to your Lord and Savior. I ain't even wasting Gloria Gaynor, George LeMaitre, Norman Baser, Norman Mailer, Maurice Schaefer, the foreign beggars of the real Noriega. Everybody's panicked that I wrote this braggadocious magnum opus, and you'll notice that he's stoic as this moment fast approaches, but that's all an act. Balderdash, he knows his chance is hopeless. That title's only as respected as a motherfucking man that holds it. Now choose your weaponry. Removing useless goofs like you's my specialty. I'm the type to ruin loops and studio boosts extensively. You're the type to smuggle in a couple Cuban refugees and refuse to let them leave your room for several weeks while you fuse yourself between them in a human centipede. From deep space, I paint scenes that replay visually. Each page conjures nightmare and dreamscape imagery. You named your CD Arcane. Is this pea-brain kidding me? Right there's a window into your creativity. Now you want to play hardball with me? I study Starkology, punk your clock wallabies. Go collab with Vado, still won't be large on the streets. You ain't no hard rock OG, you probably narc on your team. And when you start copping pleas, I hope they frame you for armed robbery, a narcotic siege, and a car bombing spree. Then lock you in a cell with Mark Chopper Reed and some Russian mafiosos with stars on their knees, and have the guards toss the keys. See, nameless and grave robbery. I'm a pit bull. By the end of this round, you'll be trying to put a chain on me.
Hey, yo, we just had a crazy fucking title match. The winner being the new King of the Dot champion.
The more I hear him rap in a cipher, man, this fucking lame should be embarrassed. And just like natural childbirth, that's becoming painfully apparent. This is not a product of starvation. It's just that archaic drug habits on par with Scarface's. He sweat while his heart racing, his legs and his arms shaking, but his brain's out to lunch. He Stargazing like Carl Sagan. Thank you, sir. Yo, lethargic, good for snoring, harmless, bookish, boring. He's a mark, you should have warned him. I stay sharp to butcher shorty. I don't need a hand to shake this man, my bars just shook him for me. See, I'm St. Peter, the gatekeeper. I pray for a miracle and I run with a mask on like Rey Mysterio. I kill mice and scrape the cereal. Fuck it, sorry player. My shorty stored a razor with her Jordan trainer, so before you make your case, she'll shut you down like massive organ failure. I'll fornicate your whore and make her fetch your morning paper. You're a Quaker. You beating me, but as likely as you getting a nice beach up your gorgeous Mormon neighbor. She gave up more jobs than the Board of Labor, but this enormous failure couldn't get to first base batting for the majors. The way I scorched the page could warm the glaciers and raise the shores from northern Spain to Ecuador to Asia when I'm putting down a classic like Clapton recorded lately. Avocados after this could be a morbidly gory horror trainer when I morph into the Minotaur and break your physical form to vapor. Check your source of data. See, I even got dope setups like sting operations. Ain't no hearts in this game of cards, and this king's not to play with. Semi-automatic Beretta pistol. You sound like the rap cipher at every Ivy League trap party I've never been to. He's a fan. With the kind of flow 95-year-olds would find atrociously bland. Now, rightly so, watch flight explode. It's time to blow like we planned. So we got ties at home combined with those worldwide promoting our jams. I have your blood oxidizing on my hand like Pontius Pilate. The awful hybrid of God and science colonized from Monster Island. I walk with giants. You lost your mind if you thought this swine could cross Goliath. It's unsafe around my way. This bitch can fade in 1,000 ways. I dig a grave 10 miles away where his remains get doused in flames. You give away 10,000 K now just to take this crown today, so it's gonna be extra sweet to watch you limp away without the change. Yeah. I said pick a date in crowded place. We can finalize this concept between a Himalayan mountain range and a dried up pile of dog shit. Let me paint you this emotional picture. I get toe up and loaded from the smoke and the liquor. Find your family where they're home having dinner. Door explodes into splinters. Uncle Joe gets thrown in the shitter, bend over your sister, and choke your Doberman pincer like a boa constrictor. Get initial stitch in your head like official Mitchell and Ness while I hit your ribs with my fist with a vicious ripple effect. Won't be talking about escaping no polygamous sect when a compound break makes your collarbone stick out your neck. So you ain't a mountain of shit, but a mountain of shit, and you ain't been valid in this since 2006. So we can get this solved tonight. And you could call me Walter White, because I could have you all on ice without an ounce of that shit. Wow. In the washroom before this, glancing at me, pissing like, God, that's enormous. I never saw that in Portland. I didn't have the heart to say that's just the top of my foreskin. Now, I never had a chance to make it down to Florida, so I brought some grizzle here to watch the place get out of order. I don't need customs for taking out a foreigner. Hard tie this mogwai and watch this place get out of order. Chop his brakes like Dr. Dre, head banging off the dashboard, and then fast forward, have him smash so his face don't match his passport. And that pig you trying to wife up, she fed up with your boring flow. She the sort of hoe you catch Monday morning on the Maury show. I'm sorry, bro. Your shorty glows the glory holes in poorly woven orgy robes. Of course he knows how the story goes when she's snorting blow and cracks a 40-0. Ness and Marv got her horny forming an Oreo. They lined her for days. And I'll be the first to acknowledge I felt your earlier projects, but you dumbed your sit down. And that's some curious logic. When you see your greatest strength as a curb to your progress, and the chances if you pander, you can firm up your pockets. To be perfectly honest, I thought you thirsted for knowledge. So when I heard the shit you working on, it churned up some vomit. You got the nerve to think that you deserve some currency off this? Well, go ahead and try converting Muhammad, because that's a more likely chance of you turning a profit. Ask this guy how many compliments, lies, and empty promises it took to buy the bulk of all those lines from MC Goddess with. Immaculate, little sack of shit. Share your place with Sharon Tate. I kill actresses. I will smack this bitch. Now you've developed a southern drawl as you've evolved into this beast who will run up in the crowd and Ben Wallace that shit. All brolic and quick to ball up a fist to brawl with these kids. And as small as he is, some of y'all still fall for that shit. So when you see the collagen lips on this Hollywood bitch start to flap, bet your ass is more false than legit. So little Oliver Twist can go swallow a dick and get ready for the next set of balls on his chin. So I'd say that it's clear you ain't getting dough from battle rhyming, stepson. If you faced all your fears to take what you're owed, they'd have your tiny neck lump. Trying to make a career is taking its toll. You've sacrificed your best ones. Because if I've wasted this year, you've wasted your whole adult life and then some. And Ben Spar with his hefty weight. Walking Death Star, hearts of depth jars set to detonate. Monitor his pulse if his breath starts to accelerate. Sin, you feel the numbness in your left arm. You meditate. Next carb you ingest can make your whole system shut down. Say you running blocks, I never bought that story. This man's music is translucent as Stan Kubrick's moon landing movie with a flag moving, just a fraud reporter. Make my skin crawl like scarab beetles from the withdrawal of a heroin needle. Rip that maraschino cherry out your chest, there's no equal. Like Tarantino's rare cerebral nightmarish inherent evil, I will ride up on shit faster than a fucking pair of Speedos. Came to run his bitch mouth the way I expected. I came to take this fucking bitch out like a radio edit. Cut. See, I can break all that down into a bar that's far more simple. Any gun he talks about is artificial like a starter pistol. Show me where this man stores the chrome, I'll put that 4-pound in my head like the Zach Morris phone. Unless you audition in for the hologram of Heavy D, check your voice before I slap the bass out like Geddy Lee. Anything that he tried to tell you people disregard. Sid is sweeter than my great-grandmother's Christmas cards. This beluga couldn't lift an arm to let the whistle spark. Said the kid is hard, I ain't feeling shit, he spit so far. Think you're sharp, you're ripped apart with scissor parts and mirror shards, prison bars and lit cigars, 50 shards of pickle jars, a Civi car from Willow Park, 6-alarm chili farm, pepper spray and scimitars, fishing bars, lacerated Patrick Bateman business cards, head on Santa Monica, limbs behind the Quickie Mart, just discard them with the garbage downstream on a river gauge, or ditch in Rick Griffith Park with more missing parts than a whip that's parked between a titty bar and a shipping yard. People wore down this hatchet head, now there's nothing but the handle left. From chopping down the forest needed to build your fucking casket with. Happy Easter. I'm not too religious. To me that shit's all superstition, but I will have blood running down a big T like a crucifixion. Music teachers with Schoolie D and Louis Prima. You doing tributes to Aretha, you the hugest diva. I'm feeling like the Cuban leader that overthrew Batista. I could rule for 50 years, I think it's time I threw my feet up. And this here's the new Katrina. That's real, cause when I kick his leg out, you're gonna see a useless FEMA. I use my sneakers to leave you with mutant features like a sewer creature baptized in every cubic liter of nuclear seepage will fuel the leak from Fukushima. You're speaking to a reaper. I brought angles to supersede you like Monsanto. Want battle? You'll get ether. I brought ammo like John Rambo. If you really think he half as slick as me, he's coming down on Ye harder than the fashion industry. Big teeth, uppercut, take off half your grill like Richard Harrow with a hook that'll take your brain out your face like an Egyptian pharaoh. Yes! See, Terry got nothing. You hear his heart pumping. Sound like the terror squad when I'm marathon running. Watch him black out like the aerosol huffing. When I put a bag over top his head like carry-on luggage. The only trap house you ever seen was watching The Sound of Music. Judging by how you bullshit, you must think these crowds are stupid. Prep Joe, you don't clock dough, you funny son of a bitch. Just cause you built like the Kool-Aid Man does not mean you're running through bricks. You Chicago's bummiest pimp. How the fuck you stack Skrilla? Heard your bottom bitch got a lip and a gum line like Mac Miller and one eye like Jack Thriller. Listen, turkey tents, I ain't come to ruffle your feathers. I pluck them, gut them, and stuff them, then sew the cup back together. Spill your blood so a gush of the flood your cup couldn't measure. Have you losing more courts than a fucking public defender? Son, I'm up for whatever. Got a screw loose, Bruce? You really think we give two shits about your deuce? Shoot yourself in the mouth like the Fight Club movie. Bitch, put your lips on your Desi, let's play I Love Lucy. I'll be on my business. You be on your third spaghetti plate. I murder every page I touch to burn him worse than Freddy's face. I got the urn already. Hey, let's see if it's worth the mess he made. When this curved machete blade turns his heavyweight to a writer set to an early resting place like Ernest Hemingway. So let PM Don Corleone rhyme about letting the heat pop. Well, he does his signature move, the I'm a little teapot. I carve my name in your face. That's a signature move done right. My finishing move leave no one in your circle left upright. I could have went fairly light in Toronto and spared your life, but for wasting my time, I'm going off. It's ending here tonight. Let's get it. Noah's Ark, baby, got 2 llamas on deck. Boppity, bloop, bloop, popping the clip. The kickback will have you moonwalking like Chewbacca, knock you off the roof like Tupac and this bitch. Rah, rah, loopity, choo, choo. Launch at your crib. Launch at your crib. You blocking shit? Cool off with that bit. You sound like a retard fool. Stop with that shit. Your whole style's a party trick. You know, for sound effects more than any actual bar you spit. This is retribution. It's more than a rebel movement. After tea gets taxed, we dump them in a harbor. That's a revolution. I stay sharper than a train yard fighter. I'm J.R. Ryder spliced with H.R. Geiger. Bet against me ain't smart. I got my brain hardwired. 8 large says you'll be sleeping under Kmart flyers. You trying to lock jaws with Godzilla. Watch me ice tea and lay the law down like a cop killer. This tough guy's hostile. Said he keeps that heat by his side. Bet you're a plus size model. We'd never see you squeezing a 9. Grandma's doing angel's work, spitting the trick's face, stick a rib cage, twist the blade in her. 5th day you cremating her. Just wait, I'ma take the urn, dump it on the table, and Rick James the remains of her. From here on in, I'm only battling legends. So next time, tell Thesaurus I'm coming back with a vengeance. He brought clips and mags. I'm here to give him a year's subscription. Should have told him this clearly isn't a wise career decision. Said when it comes to lyricism, you and I's a mirror image, so let's reflect on that and let these people hear the difference. You get the message now. The second round, I'll make them settle down like a wedding vow. Hey, yo, Craig Mack wants his face back. I've been a beast since Keith Richards had a clean liver. Now, part of me almost hopes they let off rounds in this dude. Splash him and take some years off his life. Fountain of youth. Let me get this out of my system. I hope you get found by some goons and they put 5 in the source like a perfect album review. Back in Vegas, he rolled with a pack of rats, no Sammy Davis. Around here, he's signing affidavits all across the San Andreas. So I'm not talking about no tracks he make with Planet Asia when I say the factual statement you've collaborated with Cali agents. But it's just like fuck every angle's taken. You battled 650 times on YouTube. No exaggeration. And that's amazing. But where the fuck did that get you? I'm just saying, I'm thinking maybe you should have went out in your prime like Amadeus. Let me explain. He rose to prominence with the Oakland audience. So I suppose this common sense, his old accomplishments of global dominance, that started here would grow synonymous with his overconfidence. But you know the consequence, overexposing all this shit. Promoters jocking him at first, reversed and broke their promises. You saw the opponent's awkwards got you hurt, won't acknowledge it, but every event felt like a knife in your back. That's Roman politics. It's your face that looked like post-apocalyptic molten lava pits, your gross incompetence making that music no one bothered with. Nah, you just overstayed your welcome. Sunk down to the middle tier, lost all your shit. Now they're saying you don't belong in this. He's battles lungs depressions because the man is not the legend. They're like Santa Claus and penguins. That's polar opposites. Now he's stacking all his bread up, packed it up, moved to the desert. In the end, that money's gonna be just another ghost you're haunted with. Because you can stack a mountain of dead presidents like that South Dakota monument, but that pot is getting raked because you'll never know when to fold and walk with it. Thought you had cards up your sleeve. Your boy bluffing. I just royal flushed him. Now who the fuck is Doyle Brunson? I said from here on in, I'm only battling legends, but if the money's right, tell Ness that I might just make an exception. Tom, I didn't remember. He'd been taking heads to school. Well, shit, I guess I must have skipped that semester, but I've been taking notes since days ago. Managed to stitch them together, so now algebra's getting chucked out. Here come the physics professor. Here's your valediction. I'm about my business like Saudi princes. Frey, I'm out of your zone. You can't mimic the sound or counterfeit it with a 1,000-digit algorithm. I came down from Mount Olympus. Y'all couldn't reach the base camp. You powder sniffing a pound a minute, pal, for thinking that the blades match. How you living? I'm just trying to tell him where my brain's at. Brace your back, I'll break a bat in half without a Bane mask. Beast in ciphers, sharper off the top than a peaky blinder. Going overboard with a gas like a deep sea diver. So your girl said when you be inside her, it's like a mosquito biting. So if I get her wet, she'll give me a little head like the Zika virus. Poor mother. From when that noggin was trapped inside her, and she opted for natural childbirth without rhinoceros tranquilizers. You're my favorite opponent. I loved you in Bonk's Adventure. I'm gonna savor this moment. Big boned bitch looking like Raven Samoan. Fuck taking that dome for the trophy case, I may just go bowling. I'm an 80-story, heartless, salivating force of darkness. You a baby born to prey upon. I came to organ harvest. You basic, boring, harmless. What y'all pay him for? You garbage. Old Nintendo cartridge shit. You blew the game before it started. My shit's more beautifully imagined than you could even fathom after doing a sheet of acid on the moon with Peter Frampton. Put Fredo in the ring with me, now you can see what happens in a brutal reenactment of when Zeus released the Kraken. I've been two-fisting blue ribbons, sending my new victim. I split his wig like a beautician. Musician with screws missing. Fuck this round, I two-zip him. June 6 him, that's doomsday, I move different. I'm old school like Luke Wilson and Foo Snickens. You a 30-something-year-old new jack, that's a huge difference. He remarkably obnoxious. Tell this bootlicker here, I'm an artist on that block shit, Cubism. If he put me in a box, it'll be in a booth spitting for $1.50 per 16 on his new mixes. 2 Michelin star meal, you straight out the soup kitchen. Have a room spinning like he glue sniffing with some flu symptoms. I'm too gifted. You want to do business, I'm cool with it, but the truth's vicious, Fredo. You should be battling school children. Couldn't save paper like news clippings. Your buzz ain't never left the ground. I'm heading out on the moon mission. Jump in front of the man in charge and catch a shot like the Secret Service. Should beat the bird shit on his beak for chirping. Lights go out, you see him jerking like Pee Wee Herman without a theater curtain. This is charity for you. Don't get a big head about it. Fuck, forget about it. I swear ever since we met, you just wanted me to like you. Every time I'm on a coast, you're like, doggy, you should slide through. Even texting me last night like, King, you want to get some drive-through. It's not a magician's act how I saw the bitch inside you. See, I was crafting my pen into a tactical weapon. Well, you were hanging with methods waiting on a batch from your chemist now. Classes in session for the master's apprentice. How'd you think this was a mirror match? I don't have a reflection. You quit your day job, you better cash in your pension. I start Infernos, Arctic Circle, turn to Galveston, Texas. Came to leave a body, no astral projection. Julius Caesar getting stabbed in the Senate, I'm back with a vengeance. You can't capture the essence with camera lenses. You've been gassed since you stepped in, Fredo. You just gassed for this engine. A massive percentage you won't catch till years after I said it. Even after I'm dead, that's not the exit. They'll travel for miles to trample the entrance and stand at attention where my casket's embedded like Vladimir Lenin's cadaver that's kept under glass at the Kremlin. Some say I battle too intensely. For me, it's rudimentary. I feel like a shooter ready for some students at a school assembly. Mazel tov! Let a bottle pop in his head. It's a brutal ending when I stomp the glass in his temple like a Jewish wedding. You not Benny Blanco. You just John Leguizamo. So either you glue sniffing or you come to get work. A Scottish shepherd from the Highlands. That's what I deserve. You think you're on my level? Please fuck what you heard. I send you back to your sheep farm so you can fuck what you heard. I got a grade 8 hottie with a playmate body. Your girl's like 4'7", still in grade 8 probably. I should put rings to his grill like the A8 Audi and stomp soul with the soul of a Graceway Wally. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leak all of your business. Same reason I don't fuck with peach schnapps. Those cheap shots are for bitches. No. You light a blunt, it's getting snatched out your mittens. You piping up, you getting slapped with the quickness till you ask for forgiveness like an act of contrition. I just ash on your face like a Catholic tradition. That's funny, you think his shit's all good. I'm trying to wipe Seoul off the map. I'm on that Kim Jong-un. Gordy Berry, I'm exploiting Seoul for the guap. Ghostbuster proton beam, put Seoul in a box. So speak that trash, son. It's about to be a fast lunch. I can see your fan club had you believe in that buzz. You got handed this match? That's some really bad luck after being gassed up like a Vietnam monk. They couldn't work the case. Witnesses heard, no words exchanged the day that Small Change got rained on with his own 38. The lurking birds of prey were perched on power lines of First and Main, watching the blood as it ran in a puddle that came from his body, now turned into gray, and his favorite shirt was bathed and covered. Could hear the rumors percolate, with a newspaper vendor shout of an upwards curve in the murder rates. Dirty faces gazed disgusted, seeing every circle traced around all the shells that had fell on the ground to surround where the shooter had earned his name, but nothing really changes. Bootleggers and beggars lost in limbo. 16 stories up, some kid with vertigo still washing windows, and the cops are wanting info from the pimps and gutter birds that always ask them for a cigarette and their badge numbers first. And the hustlers keep on hustling. Pickpockets work the crowd, and shopkeepers with shouters are swinging their brooms to chase the vermin out. And the perverts' mouths are firmly closed, but always twitch at the corners, like all the fiends that'll swallow your seed as long as the means of they're getting a quarter. And this is a horrible place to raise anything besides suspicion. All the passerbys look grim as violence hits a high statistic. And the walls of the city are looming. Getting out's a pricey ticket. Yeah, home is where the heart is, but that don't make it nice to visit. Cause the alley stinks like piss and liquor where the drunks all talk the same. So they all got a million stories about that one that got away. And the hail of bullets came but barely stained the curb that day when Small Change got rained on with his own 38. That's right, Small Change got rained on. Just go home, you're too late. They jerked it straight out of his hand, turned and aimed it at his face. The burst of flame licked his cheekbones. A bourbon bottle fell, and the jackals cackled madly to reserve their spots in hell.